Welcome to Star Wars Action News, helping Star Wars collectors collect better.
Hello, welcome to Force Friday 2 with Star Wars Action News. This is Marjorie.
Force Friday 2 Electric Boogaloo. This is Arnie, and welcome to our series of reviews we're going to be doing of new Star Wars merchandise. We're going to have a new video up every hour for the first several hours of Force Friday 2 here on September 1st. We had the video at midnight live on Facebook, which you can still go see, of our store opening. But while at Wizard World Chicago last weekend, we were able to get our hands on a few Hasbro products before street date. So we have these reviews here ready to go of new toys you'll be able to find in the store today. And we're going to start with the one that...
I kind of feel like this is 2 years late.
Tell that to Kanjiklub. I'm talking about the Rathtar. And if you guys recall, if you're Star Wars Action News followers, when I interviewed Hasbro at San Diego Comic-Con in 2016, I asked them, hey, you know, in the 3 3/4 inch scale, you guys have really ignored your beasts. You know, when I was growing up, I think about the Wampa, I think about the Tauntaun, I think about the beasts, and it's a perfect skew. They were doing them in the 6 inch. So what about 3 3/4? And I specifically mentioned wanting a Rathtar. What I really miss in the 3 3/4 inch line is the beasts. You guys used to do quite a bit with that. Right. And a 3 3/4 inch Rathtar, I'm thinking, would be awesome.
That would be awesome, wouldn't it?
Of course, now I know they already had it in the making.
So, I guess my first question about the Rathtar, are you supposed to suspend him from the ceiling with fishing line or something? Because it doesn't look like he stands, and his legs fly off. And now, oh my gosh, he's an amputee.
He does stand on the legs. But this is what I'm going to say is, when you get the box, you get your Rathtar, and he does come with Bala-Tik, and we'll review that figure in a second. But I almost think this isn't a toy. It's a game. It shouldn't be in the action figure section. It should be over where Hasbro keeps Monopoly and Trouble and all of those, because you open it up. You have your action figure with his blaster in a nice little blister, and then you have this tiny ball of Rathtar and all of his legs. And they're almost impossible to see. They did a good job of hiding it, but each leg has a letter of the alphabet on it. A through L. There's 12 legs.
Oh my gosh.
But I'm happy they made the letters near invisible, because when you're looking at the figure, it's not like it's trying to teach you your ABCs. I'm upset, though, because I had to really find a bright light, and I couldn't tell my L from my I from my H. Sometimes I got my C and my G confused, and they have to go in specific holes on the body. They're just little rubber pegs that you have to stick in, and I found that assembling your Rathtar reminds me of the game Kerplunk. Have you ever played Kerplunk?
I have not. I don't know that game.
Kerplunk is where you have a whole bunch of straws and like little plastic sticks, and you put them in forming a mesh, and then you put a bunch of marbles in the top, and you pull out the sticks, and the person who ends up spilling all the marbles because the sticks have lost their cohesion,
yeah,
loses the game. Well, every time I would attach one of the Rathtar's legs, 2 new ones fell off.
That's funny, as you do that, you're inserting a leg and they're flying off.
They look a little like squid legs, a little bit, kind of like some lobstery things.
You might as well just give up, because you just keep putting the same 2 legs in right now.
It legitimately took me about 30 minutes of frustration to get all the legs in, and then the moment I moved it into the recording studio, legs started falling off like this is a leper Rathtar.
Can I make a suggestion? Can you use just a spot of glue?
But then you wouldn't have the articulation.
Do you need to articulate his legs?
Yes, and his little squids, otherwise how are you gonna capture people? These are his appendages.
I'm gonna say he's probably not gonna be capturing people as his legs fall off.
You know what I really think they've done? This is a genius cost-cutting measure. Hasbro, instead of using Chinese labor, is crowdsourcing figure assembly. I just picture the future. When you buy a figure, you have to put your own arms and legs in and snap the body on, because there's no way that this is a reasonable amount. I opened this, I'm like, I wanted a toy. I got a Lego set. And it doesn't stay together.
No, and I think you're going to be losing legs if you just don't stop, because this is going to be a problem.
I'll give it some pros. First of all, some of the legs do stay in pretty well. I think it's really tough. I think eventually, with enough repetition, I may get them all in, or I'm just going to wear the nubbins down to stubs. I can't decide which way that's going to go. I like the paint on it, though, especially the legs. Each of the legs has a beige side and a cooked lobster red side that lines up pretty well with the body.
I'm sorry, I just love his giant maw. He has this giant mouth. Okay, I know I don't have very long hands. Oh, his legs just fell off again. But I can stick my entire index finger in and touch the back, which I assume is the Rathtar butt from the inside.
Not only can you stick a finger in...
Do figure spit in?
You can stick a figure in.
Oh, that's even more fun.
I right now have him eating Bala-Tik. And you get the little appendages on, so he's like shoving it in.
You know what would have been better, and I'm sure this would have driven up the cost exponentially, is if the tentacles, or at least the front tentacles, were bendy. Like bendums, so you could like wrap them around the legs or something like that.
The figure is a really tight fit, and what I'm surprised about is the mouth is a little rubbery, but not as much as I would expect. It's got some give to it, but I think if you stick figures in it, the paint on the mouth and the paint on the figures is going to wear off with play, but I expected it to be far more rubbery than it is on the mouth.
Yeah, I was surprised when I stuck my finger all the way in there, because I couldn't resist, that it didn't tear up my finger more. It was just kind of not even really irritating, so...
He's got some nice paint on the back, though, the stripes, and then the yellow wart things.
They're like zits.
Yeah.
There goes another leg. He now only has 3 legs out of, 12?
When we started, all legs were in there. So in this amount of time and just handing him back and forth, 9 legs have fallen.
Sorry, I was trying to look inside the Rathtar.
Now, one thing that's interesting with these new Last Jedi 3 3/4 inch toys is each of them has a little symbol on the bottom for the Force Link. Now, we don't have the band yet, but when you get a Force Link band and you put it up to this, you're going to hear a Rathtar roar, I believe.
I don't know what the Rathtar is going to say. I have seen some other ones, and they are saying lines from the movie. And it's not always on the bottom, Arnie. Some of them are on the feet. And you just have to hold the Force Link gauntlet close to it, and it will say the lines or make the sounds.
Bala-Tik has a little symbol on the bottom of his boot, and if he doesn't say tell that to Kanjiklub, I'm going to be way disappointed.
Yeah, he needs to say that.
Tell that to Kanjiklub.
And I am looking forward to our review of the Force Link band. That'll come in a few days, but I think that's a much cooler idea than that app that they did for Rogue One. I like the idea of having figures say lines from movies versus, oh look, I can insert a TIE fighter and a laser blast in a photo. I couldn't do that with Photoshop. Now, one thing with the proliferation of new movies that we're not getting so much anymore are background character figures. So I'm not sure out of all of The Force Awakens, Bala-Tik was the figure I was hoping for most, but he goes well with the Rathtar.
I don't know who else I would have asked for. I think we needed the Rathtar, though.
Yes.
I completely think that this was missed 2 years ago, and I would have loved to have that.
This is Disney's problem with secrecy, and specifically JJ's problem with secrecy, not letting the Hasbro team in, because I, too, would have loved it. I'm excited to get it now. And you know what? Said I didn't need Bala-Tik. I'm so glad they did Bala-Tik versus what we're going to talk about in our next video, where with the probe droid, they just put a Darth Vader. They could have just put a Han here and said, look, heroes sell well. And then we'd be stuck with a repackaged Han Solo from The Force Awakens. I'm glad we got a new character here with Bala-Tik. And he has a pretty plain outfit, but it's fairly movie accurate.
He looks like he lives in the Matrix.
Kind of. I got a goth feel off of him.
I don't think so much goth. Definitely thinking that he is living in the Matrix, though.
I love his bangs.
Yeah, his bangs are, like, on fleek.
And his double-breasted coat. I actually really like the detail in the sculpt here. Now, he is 5 points of articulation, which means He has those wonderful split pant legs.
The pantsuit.
But still, at least I'm getting him in 3 3/4 inch scale. And he comes with a really cool, unique blaster that's rather large. It's bigger than his arm.
It is. It's the one he carried in the movie.
So, in the end, I think the figure's cool, but the Rathtar, I love him if he would just keep his tentacles together. I'm going to buy a couple more. I used to buy 3 of everything. I think I do need 3 Rathars. And then, once I get them assembled, I'll put them on a shelf and never touch them again so the tentacles don't fall off. I do wonder over time if these little rubbery tentacles will bend with the weight of the body, but it's a pretty lightweight body.
See, you said that, and immediately my head is like, no, because this is not very heavy at all. And these legs feel stronger than the body. I mean, it really weighs nothing. If you throw a figure in there, maybe you want to find something to put them on, but...
the figure weighs virtually nothing, too.
Yeah, but it's not made for that, so that would be my only concern. But I would buy a backup or 2 and maybe glue some in there.
Well, that's it for this video. Now, next hour, we're going to have Andrew with a Lego set that he was able to get, and going to do a time-lapse video of its assembly. And we're going to be back in 2 hours looking at another deluxe set that's in the same line as this Rathtar, the Imperial Probe Droid with Darth Vader.
Ooh.
So, enjoy your Force Friday shopping, folks, and we will talk to you in 2 hours.
Thanks for watching this video. You can see full episodes of Star Wars Action News with more collecting news and reviews at swactionnews.com. We also have thousands of toy and collectible photos in our photo gallery. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. May the pegs be stocked and the Force be with you.